Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Now, I'd like to introduce my guest, Wrighty. So, we've seen you
Hello.
around the channel for a while.
Hi, we do. I'm everywhere.
Yes. Now, I believe I first heard of you as far back to the early deity days. Did he flip out on you in a chat?
Oh yeah, I can't remember why though. To be honest, it was something. I think I told him he was a prick, or I called him out for something that he's being a knobhead.
Yes. And deity was at that point in his peak phase of attacking everyone in chats, getting people riled up, and then that led you to Roger Brown's channel, right?
Yeah, I went over to Rogers because I started watching him. He was talking about deity and RSN, so I started watching him for a bit to see what would happen, and it was rather interesting. Roger comes out with some good stories. Whether they're true, I don't know.
Okay. And now something that had been mentioned is that there was some sort of possible issue between you and Roger. Now you say that was not you.
No, I don't think it was me, to be honest. I know my account was trolled and she caught him out himself. He said it was Holly. So she got caught out and she was going around causing nothing but shit with people. But her mistake was going to the people that I was in constant communications with. And that's how I caught her.
Okay. All right. So if Roger, when you watch this, there's no issues there. It was likely a clone. Now there's been a lot of issues with cloning on YouTube lately.
Yeah, I've got no issues with Roger. I just stopped watching him because he started covering fat women and I had no interest in them.
Yes. All right. So going on from there, what led you to shoot yourself? Was it the RSN stuff?
It was the Bells stuff because I remember sitting there and watching bells go off on you for some strange reason when you went on there and fucking, what was it? DT decided to think he was a hard man and had you muted. So when I went over there and I started watching it, I was like, oh yeah, he's going to cover it. Let's have a look what this is about.
Okay. So you saw me come up on that stream of deity. That's what led you to Bells of Nevermore, who was at that point known as Heavy Down.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you were involved. Now, is that your introduction to suit you? Were you helping him make his video on Bells?
No, I didn't help at all. I was just watching. I was just being a viewer for once.
Okay.
I knew nothing about Heavy Down at all apart from that she was ecstatic at the time. She was a bit out there.
Yeah. So at that point, you're in Suit Yourself's chats. Now, he used to moderate everybody who came in after they said some things in the chat, at least a day or two.
Yeah.
So at that point, you probably get moderated pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, he gave me the wrench. It's mainly because he said, well, his excuse was his eyes. He has trouble seeing very well, so that's what I presumed it was.
Okay.
Woof
So
woof. There you go.
so the Bells video drops. That community kind of goes to war for a bit. Now, walk me through, like, how did you become like closer with Suit Yourself and actually become very friendly with him?
I think it's because I didn't back down from him. I tell him straight if he liked it or not. If there was times where he fucking hated the fact I'd say something and he'd be like fucking cunt and everything else, and we'd go at war against each other. But
Mm,
I think before then, there was a big fucking aggro because of Queen. I was actually in there defending Queen at the time, saying that this is just pointless of all the Queen shit he was doing.
okay.
And then she turned on me because I have a belief that you shouldn't be putting kids on social media. Full stop.
Okay. So you all actually have like a bit of a back and forth relationship then.
Yeah,
Is this is the Queen of Spades stuff started not it maybe have been around, it was actually around the same time as the Bells stuff,
yeah,
I believe. So Bells of Nevermore's video drops. Queen was actually a part of helping with that. And then eventually Queen turns on Suit, I believe, and you all start investigating her. So what exactly was your interactions with Queen of Spade personally?
We had a reasonable interaction together. It was a lot of back and forth, normal conversations, and then she all of a sudden she just went nuts. I don't know if it was because I was either in Wizard Community, whatever his name is, the Green Wizard. I can't remember his name before then, but it was either because of that or because I literally said that I don't agree with parents putting their kids on social media, pictures of the kids. which I've never agreed with. You don't know who's out there online.
Okay. So at this point, Suit Yourself starts to cover Queen of Spade, and you're deep in the thick of that.
Yeah, I had massive arguments with everyone over it in there because they were all coming out with shit constantly, and I was like, why don't you just ignore it then and walk away? Let her fucking spag out.
Okay. Now, so you were in everyone's ear at this point, telling them that they just need to ignore Queen of Spade.
Yeah, I was actually doing it publicly though in the server, in Suit's server. I didn't do it behind any closed doors or nothing. And
Okay.
I think it was Phoenix, Kaylee, a few other people as well, but it was just fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Valkyrie.
I will say I remember you saying that a few times in his Discord that we should just ignore her.
Yeah, I do. I still have shit with her now, and I just ignore her because I can't be asked. She just, in the end, she just moves on to someone else.
Right. So you were not involved in any of the research into Queen of Spade. You weren't going through her live journal, because I know she has accused everyone of that.
Oh no, that wasn't me. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that was Professor and Kaylee.
Okay. So you were just in that Discord in the Queen room, just as a passive observer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of shit in there that I wasn't happy as seeing, but it's not my server, it's not my channel.
Yeah. So going from there, while all of this Queen of Spades stuff is going on, at some point there is some big drama that blows up between Suit Yourself and his then girlfriend Hypa Bumfuzzle.
Yeah, I've got no idea what happened with that one because I was actually kicked from the server a few weeks beforehand for arguing with Suit.
Okay. From my knowledge of the topic, like there was that you all had a dispute and because of that.
Yes, after the fact, he was like saying, fucking, I was helping her to leave him and all that shit, and I was like, I had nothing to do with that. You were already split up. When I found out you split up, I've always liked Hyper. Me and I've always got on. She was the main reason I actually started joining VCs because my accent is very thick to a lot of people, so I don't bother joining them.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think it's important to at this point bring up that one of their contentions for Hypa and Suit Yourself split was Lexi, Retro Reviews Robert, who was a man pretending to be a woman.
Yeah, that's what I believe. There was something to do with jealousy in between them two.
I was stayed out of all of that when I was in his Discord, but I know they would passive aggressively post memes at each other, which is why one of the reasons I thought Retro was a woman, because that is things women would do.
Yeah, they were constantly back and forth attacking each other, weren't they? There was never like peace between them constantly.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, you and Lexi, like, how was your relationship? Were you all still friends at this point while Hypa was and Suit had split?
Yeah, I'm still friends now with Bill Robert. I'm still friends with him now. I've got no issue with him.
Okay, so you all have never actually had any issues with each other then?
No.
Okay. So at this point, Lexi is still very much so incognito as Retro Reviews. What is there anything that happens in between that point and the actual outing?
It was the ear juice thing. Suit decided to go after ear juice for some reason. Don't know why. So Retro went into the Hijas server for some stupid fucking reason, thinking that he could watch it. You know, the Hijas server is full of local and Kiwi farm posters. Mm-hmm. So as soon as they went in there, they found out who Retro actually was. And then as soon as I started hearing the fact that it was going to be looked into more, I decided to look within 30 seconds. I found out Retro was a man. It wasn't really that hard, and I don't think me and Suit were getting on at the time, so I had to pass it to somebody else to give to Suit, and Suit still didn't believe what he was seeing.
Yes. Now I believe, like I've seen the video. I believe it only took like a handful of clicks to actually find out. It connected right to their art page.
It actually took one click. It just as soon as you hit their Twitter, there was pictures of him and his brother in a convention, so it was rather easy to find out exactly who he was.
Okay. So, backing up a bit, before Lexi was outed, Hypa had been on streams already talking about this.
No,
No, not until that.
no, not until afterwards when Suit decided to go at her. Trying to think now. I think it was Mugnuts was the one who she mainly first went onto a stream with and explained her side months after the fact.
Okay.
This is like months after the cornfields and shit like that. Now the cornfields was something started by Shaggy and Toxic and myself, and we fucked a Suit through there.
Okay. Now, at some point, one of the accusations being leveled about this situation was that Suit yourself had sent a PDF document to Hypa, which somehow ended up in Queen of Spades' possession. Now, do you know anything about that?
Yes, the PDF document is from a Google Drive. Suit has linked Queen, but Suit was claiming that it was Hyper that doxed him. No serious evidence or nothing, just his word, end of. So it was like, just none of it made sense. It's a good theory from him, but there's no solid evidence that it was actually Hyper.
Okay.
It could have been anyone.
What I have seen in my research was that I've seen the DM where Suit was sending it to them. How it's like I said, it's a mystery how it ended up in Queen's possession. Now, Suit claims, swears up and down that he only sent it to Hypa. So
Yeah, that's what he swears.
This Google Drive was not public. This is a thing where it was private and was shared.
Yeah, but going by Queen, it was Suit who sent Queen the fucking Google Drive in the first place.
Okay. All right. Because see, a lot of this stuff has been taken down. It's been scrubbed from history, so it's hard to actually go back and find a lot of details and the actual specific streams.
Yeah, there was a lot of it's been hidden over the time.
Yes.
Everyone moved on. And just to answer Squirrel, because like Squirrel wants to like be wrong again. We were all kicked out. I left the server before one bottom because I left Suit server because I was already in Lexi's server, Roberts, and Suit literally asked in his server, nobody tell me anything about Robbie. So I stuck to what he requested, and once he found out I was a mod in there because I was given a mod role, I didn't ask for it. I was given it. That was why. So just to correct your narrative there.
Okay. So your issue with Suit post catfishing began as soon as you were in that Discord with Lexi. You were given moderator status.
No, my issue with Suit is because he decided to fucking belittle a friend of mine in his server. So I waited patiently for him to fuck with me so I could go at him so he wouldn't go at my friend.
Okay. All right. So you sort of painted a target on your own back intentionally then?
Yeah. In a way, what pissed me off the most is when he was in Brad's stream saying that I'd ran off with Lexi and I took Lexi off him and all that shit. And I was like, what the fuck are you on about, dickhead? So then I decided to ruin his YouTube career with what he done. And what happened was more and more shit come out of what he's been up to.
Okay. Now, just for the timeline purposes, because we'll get into this later on, prior to the actual catfishing, they had been flirting on the server. There had been a lot of explicit things shared. One of those explicit things was a sexually explicit Powerpuff image, lolly.
Yeah, cartoon.
Now,
lolly,
this was
or whatever
happened. Yeah, this happened. No, this happened months before the actual drama broke out from it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it was screenshotted and saved.
I knew it. I knew it had happened, but I never seen the image, and then I got told about the image, and someone sent me the image and showed me it, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" It's not something I would have done. And then when you go like further on months down the line, I'd had a word with Cog and told him about it. So Cog actually messaged him and spoke to him privately, and Suit said it was a picture of him and Lexi having sex, which it's kind of fucked up to think of that way.
Yes. The actual context that Suit Yourself gave for that image. Now, I don't know, like, did Cog find out before or after the screenshot leaked out months later?
After.
After, okay. Well, and at the time, Suit Yourself's context for it is that because Powerpuffs is Robert's favorite show, or one of his favorite shows,
Yeah,
that it was supposed to be representative of Suit Yourself being tall and her, well, what he thought was a her at the time, being short.
yeah.
That about sum it up?
Yeah, that about sums it up. But he could have just used a midget porno or something, couldn't he? Let's be honest.
It was very tasteless. Suit Yourself has a tendency to go a little far with things. He probably at the time did not think anything of it, but how would you say his reaction to it was when it was first posted? Like, what was his mental state at that point?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I wasn't around when it happened.
Okay.
I was busy with real life shit. But when we did go at him, we gave him hundreds and hundreds of outs to use, and he refused to even speak up about it. He wouldn't address it. He left Bells to be his meat shield and take all this shit, which then screwed Bells over later on in time.
All right. So the image gets posted. Then his then girlfriend gets outed as a catfished. Now, how long was it after the outing that the image resurfaced? Now, I understand that Ear Juice and Mormon Shaggy, they all eventually picked up on
it. The little CP image that was brought out within 2 weeks, and the only reason they picked up on it is because I was speaking to them all privately.
Okay. Was it now? You said you hadn't seen all of it. When exactly? Like, who exactly was the one that had the screenshot and brought it back up months later?
It was Coy Wolf who gave it to me.
Okay. And now Coy Wolf, I assume it was had already separated themselves from Suit because of this.
I believe so, yeah. Oh, they were getting victimized in the server. I don't know. I never really asked.
Okay. So the image comes back out. Who Suit Yourself is feuding with Ear Juice at this point, and that's his main feud. And they've already.
Yeah. I don't understand why he was going at Ear Juice full stop. He was kicking off on Ear Juice because of what his chat was saying.
Yes, I've also seen some DMs exchanged between them regarding some of the hypa stuff. It looks like this was a heated situation, and it got very personal.
Yeah.
So
Ear Juice just wanted proof, and Sue couldn't show any solid proof.
Okay. And at this point, we've got Lexi outed as a man. The image is being brought back up. Now, you said you started to get involved at this point. So, like, how did you eventually circle back around and start going at Suit?
Say again, sorry.
Oh, sorry. At this point, you were starting to come back into the community, and you saw this going down. You were circulating images as well, talking to people, getting the information out there. What led to you actually coming back in and attacking Suit?
Oh, it's because I went at Suit because he went at me in Brad's stream. One of his old friends. He decided to attack me while I was in Brad's stream, having a mess joking about ponies or bronies, whatever the fuck they were called. And I was just messing about with Brad. And Suit decided to start having snide little digs at me after I'd ignored them for over a month. We stopped speaking, full stop. I wanted nothing to do with him, and he had to do sly little digs at me. So I was like, okay, you want to play, let's play. I can play exactly like you. The only difference is I've got nothing to lose.
All right, and at this point, you're still just a viewer. You don't have your own channel yet. You don't have any real content of your own.
No, I didn't really have any content at all.
Okay, so like prior to that, like you had been on his stream several times. Like a lot of ways, like you were like one of his hands. You were a big help to him.
Yeah, I actually went into the Hijaz server to try and calm stuff down. I went over to Tonka's stream. I went into his server and calmed stuff down. I've done quite a lot of stuff that he knows nothing about because he was going to get attacked left, right, and centre. But I went in places and I calmed it all down to get people off his back.
Okay. And like you said, he was making like little digs at you in the chat. And like, what specifically was the source of that, and what was he saying?
Oh, he kept bringing up the retro stuff, and I ran away with Hyper, and I made him and Hyper split up. I ran away with Retro. Me and Retro were now dating, and all kinds of other stupid stuff. And I'd stabbed him in the back and everything else. It was like his own words, if everyone remembers, was if someone's done nothing to him, he didn't give a shit. That's exactly my principle as well.
Wilson has a question about who is Ear Juice. From what I can gather, Ear Juice is another creator. I've found some shady things that he's been accused of. Most of my research was into the actual Suit Yourself stuff, but Ear Juice's community is the one who exposed Suit Yourself's then girlfriend of being a man.
No, sadly I have to correct you. It's not Aegis' community.
It's not Ear Juice's community.
No, it was the Hijas community. Most people in that community actually hated Aegis and still does.
Oh, okay. All right. My apologies.
Yeah, they still rip into him to this day.
Okay. So going on from that point, when does Mormon Shaggy get involved?
The cornfields. Toxic had a joke or something with Suit, and then Toxic seemed to have found Shaggy, or Shaggy found Toxic.
Okay. Now this is different from Toxic Angel, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's who I remember most from Suit Yourself's community related to Toxic. So Toxic and Mormon Shaggy, I've seen that stream. Like, what led to all that? How did they end up I've heard Mormon Shaggy was a fan of Suit Yourself once, and did they turn on him? Like, what led to that?
Shaggy was unhappy that he wasn't bringing the Kino comedy and shit like that anymore, so Shaggy decided to have a go at him for some reason. Don't know why. Toxic was accused. Well, Toxic decided to do like an unfunny joke in Suit's eyes, so Suit decided to block him and kick him from the server, going by Toxic, and then decided to have little digs at Toxic on his own channel again. So Toxic said, "Fuck that, let's go." And Suit didn't like the back and forth.
Okay. And they see this going down. They see the image resurfacing, and like, do they dogpile him? Is that sort of how it happened?
No, we didn't even dogpile him. We give him excuses to use. In all the streams we ever did, we gave him excuses to use, and he didn't use any of them. He just hid.
Okay.
For some strange reason.
So let's back up a bit. Now, I know Cog did his stream, and Cog seems to have pretty much disavowed him completely, from what I could tell from that re-upload. He gets into some arguments with people in his Discord. Now, he eventually even decides to start purging his Discord, setting up like a thing where it automatically deletes the chat.
Yeah, he started like Johnny and everything, and that made it worse for him.
Okay, and yeah, go ahead.
We did try and warn him that he's making everything look worse and worse for himself, and he just refused to listen.
Okay, so now, was there ever any like an apology type stream? Was there any like did he publicly make any kind of comment about it?
No, not that I know of. He didn't even say anything. He just hid behind his he hid behind Bells in Evermore. Unlucky for her. He done trying to take the piss stream out of my Twitter, which my Twitter is a complete joke. Any moron that sits there and believes any of that, they're just stupid. Because one of my first tweets on there is, "This is a joke." Okay. Practically.
So Suit Yourself gets outed for having posted this image in his Discord months ago. His friends start to turn on him. He started now. What went first? Did he take his Discord down first, or did he take all those videos and his streams on his channel down first?
He took all this. Well, Brad, I don't know if you remember Brad, he was just Talking Skull or something, I can't remember, Frank, the Talking Skull. But he was on one of them streams, and me and Aegis went over there and started speaking our part of it. And because Shaggy went over there to be a complete knobhead, as he had a habit of doing. But we went over there to calm the situation down, to give Suit a chance to explain. And he didn't want to explain, he just said, "Oh, I'll delete everything." I said, "No, don't delete everything, keep it all up." I didn't care. He wanted to try and mock me in his streams, it's fine. I don't watch it. I never watched it anyway. And so that's when he took all this stuff down. He took his Discord down because half of his Discord was sending me screenshots of everything.
Yeah, and I want to get into that a little bit. So though I assume this is all happening around the time you came back, started having conversations with people, bringing this to light. Like who? Like, I don't know. You don't have to name names, but like were there like a lot of admins? Were there a lot of big names in his server that had been there like while I was there?
Oh yeah, even his own admins were giving me information.
Okay.
A lot of
So
people actually didn't like him. He just didn't realise. He has a habit of treating people like shit and didn't expect them all to turn on him. People that come out to me out of the blue for sending me stuff. I didn't even know them.
So would you say that was the source of him putting up that auto delete feature on his Discord?
Yeah, he was trying to delete everything. The only problem was there was like someone was always on his server all the time watching for anything he said stupid.
Okay. So suit yourself at this point. You go into his stream. At that point he takes the Discord down. He takes his streams down. Like it doesn't just end there though. Like he at one point switched to like doing like gaming stuff. Like he basically backed away from the drama, and then all of this eventually blew up into like a big stream, like where Hypa was involved in that stream. I think you were involved in a stream as well, talking about it.
Oh yeah, just so you know, in all this whole process, he was talking to the plate gang, trying to get everyone's docs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he didn't think that we all knew about that, but we did.
Okay, so like suit yourself was at this point attempting to fight back, but not in his usual way.
No, he just wanted to try and dox us all and give us all shit.
Okay. All right. Did suit yourself change at all post his own doxing?
Yeah, he kind of got more paranoid.
Okay.
Which he was paranoid in the first place, but he got worse. I don't know. I don't know why he cared. It was just his name, and
Yes.
just the amount of people with that name in his country is unbelievable. So
All right. And so what exactly ends up happening once suit yourself begins to take his content down and he goes into hiding? Like you had issues with Bells of Nevermore still at that point.
yeah, me and Bells had a. She's made an apology over some cat getting kicked. I couldn't see the apology. She said it was on some type of tab thing, and I was like, well, I can't see that anyway. Your best bet is just next time you do a live, do a quick apology at the beginning and move on. And she ran into Shoot server saying that I was forcing her to make an apology. And then this little scrotum called Skitter decided to think he was a hard man in her server, decided to have a go. And it was like, no, don't think so.
All right. And let's see, like Bells of Nevermore in one of her streams kind of like outed you for having like a cocaine addiction, struggling with your schizophrenia. Now, were you public about any of this, or was that
Yeah,
something that she? Okay, you were public.
yeah, I'm public with all that. I don't give a shit. I'm an open book.
Okay, that's fair. So all of that comes out in this, or all of that was said in the stream, and you've accepted her apology, and you've made your own apologies, and you all are at peace now.
Yeah, we're at peace. We're rather civil with each other now.
Okay, and
But I always said at the beginning on my Twitter, if she apologises, then it'll all stop. So as soon as she apologised, I owned some of the shit that I done wrong
okay.
and moved on. Like I'll just say to cats, it was not done out of malice. There might have been a slight bit of malice there, but it was never done out of malice. I prefer animals over humans. These animals don't stab you in the back, and if they are, you know they're gonna do it.
Yes. And is that the only call you've ever made in relation to YouTube?
Oh no, I never called anyone. I just put a number up on Twitter.
Okay. Okay. So you're not one of those people calling CAS on Queen, though?
Oh no, I would never do that. That's like the worst thing I believe to do to anyone without no solid proof. If that kid does to get taken off it, fuck knows what will happen to that kid. I've been in social services before, social care, so I know what it's like.
Okay. All right. So you've made your peace with Bells. What about the other people from Suits community? I know you're cool with Retro. Like, has the rest of Suits crew just disappeared into the wind, or have they turned against him completely? Where do they stand?
I think they've all left him. That I know of. The only one that I know that's around him is Bells. Ferry come back, found out what was going on, and went fuck this and got off. I don't think Mia knows the full extent of it, but you don't really see him around anyway. Mugnut's bailed. I don't think there's many people left.
Yeah, one of the videos I saw in my research here had Suit Yourself doubting Mugnuts' credentials as a body language reader, which is fair.
Yeah, it's very fair. You haven't seen proof of it. I've even doubted them.
I want to bring up a specific point for that. Is that if you go back, well, we can't go back and watch it, but if Suit Yourself were to ever bring back his original video on Bells of Nevermore Heavy Down, Mugnuts was in the chat claiming she was lying, and we already know for a fact that she wasn't.
Yeah, but you got to look at someone on a screen is a lot different to seeing someone in person, body wise, because you don't know. You got to work out, does she have 2 monitors? Does she have this? Did she have that? There's a lot of variables.
That is true. But it just like highlights a greater point. He Suit Yourself had a lot of people in his community who definitely just went with the flow and just said what was popular. And I think you were never one of those people.
No, I always questioned everything. I still do.
Right. And like you said, that also earned his respect. But would you say that also led to your falling out?
Yeah, I think it did, because I wouldn't agree with everything he'd say. I'd question it. I'd be like, nah, mate, that doesn't work out right.
Okay.
You need solid proof on so and so, or you need proof for this, and you need hard proof for something. You can't just say something and expect it to walk away.
All right. So, let's see. Is there anyone else you really had issues with in the same time as the Suit Yourself? Mark Davies. We can talk about him.
Oh yeah, he's funny. I love to fucking piss. I piss him off every few months, make him come back to a new channel from some videos, and then I ignore him, and then he fucks off again.
Let's talk about like the how did you meet Mark Davies?
Shoot on a video on him trying to what's the word? Well, make him better, more popular. Talk about the ghost shit, which is all bollocks anyway. But he tried, and it blew up in his face.
Yeah, he went on Suit Yourself stream, and like it somehow devolved into a big argument when Suit Yourself was questioning some of his footage, saying that it might be a moth.
Yeah. He literally, all he said was it could be a moth, and Mark went off on one.
Yes, and then he went straight from that stream to making very bizarre videos. Do you remember some of them? Like, I know he took me and Bells of Nevermore stream out of context. He made a video of making fun of people in wheelchairs almost.
Mark took everything out of context. He still does. He'll never change. He likes to make up a story in his head, and he runs with that story, believing that that's what happened. If you told him the earth had stopped, if he'd believe it. That's how stupid he is.
Mm-hmm. And like, how did I understand that he was on that stream of Suit Yourself, and he's a fun target to troll. But how did you end up interacting with him personally?
Oh, it's because me and Suit had argued, so I went over to him and said, "Look, I need to use you to piss Suit off, because I know he'll see you and he'll get pissed off of it." So I did, and I went back to Suit, and Suit got pissed off of it.
Okay, so
that was the whole pretense of Mark Davies and my interaction with him.
Okay, so you're using Mark Davies essentially as a conduit for your trolling.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and Suit Yourself does get pissed off. Now you all eventually did make up over that. Okay, so you this is one of your many falling outs.
Well, no, the last falling out with Suit was over the retro stuff, but before then we had loads of falling outs. COVID, Green Wizard, we fell out because it had to have rules in Kumite because of me and Green Wizard. So we had loads of falling outs just because I wouldn't agree with him all the time.
Okay, and now do you still talk to Wizard?
No, I haven't seen him in a long time. Not since. Well, I think he was round G Mangoes and that last time I heard.
Okay, and you all have never had any issues, because I know him and the Suit most definitely have.
Me and Wizard had a few issues, but we got past them and just moved on.
Okay.
I can't remember why we had our issues, but we did have some stupid issues, and we just had a little argument and moved on.
All right. Now another one you've had issues with, and she's been around the channel a few times, is Kaylee, the Adorkables.
Yeah, the idiot.
Okay.
The reason I have an issue with her is because she was defending paedophiles using an image of child porn and thinking it was okay.
Okay. Is this who are you referring to? Who is she friends
Okay,
with?
you know, she was defending that there was she's like better off paedophiles having images of kids and cartoon images of kids than them abusing someone. It's like, well, no, it's not,
Okay, so it was just a general
because
concept of lolly.
yeah, it was the whole concept of it, and plus she's friends with it, someone who is a paedophile, whether he's mentally disabled or not, he is a paedophile. And then she's friends with some other fucking retard called Jesse, who seems to think that fucking whatever he says is right.
Jesse, are you is Jesse the same as Sid Vicious?
Yeah, exactly the
Okay.
same.
Okay. Now this is a person I know a little bit about. They're not the one who's threatened to throw me in jail before just because I did a stream with Wizard. Now, how did you become acquainted with them?
I become acquainted to him because of some of the people he was accusing of being paedophiles. Someone called Lycan, I think it was, something like that. Can't remember his full name. I did actually have a full-on conversation with them and found out that Jesse was actually the one that was sharing the images of a 14-year-old boy with his dick in his hands and everything else, and he got caught for it and then went into hiding like he usually does. He decided to accuse me of being a big bad gangster and mafia running and all that shit. Like, mate, you come up with some shit. There's someone I know who he calls a part of the Russian mafia or the Russian fucking infrastructure that hacked my account and was in my account. Like, fuck, if the people I have in my close circle, if they want my password to something, they can have it. Simple as that. They don't need to hack my account.
Okay. So now you also said that there was I saw this is on your channel. Like Jesse has been accused of sharing images of CP.
Yeah, and he tried to accuse someone else of it. So I deep dived into him when he decided to come at me with his lies, because he was saying that I was trying to get images of kids for RSN for
Okay.
some unknown reason, even though I've never spoken to RSN really. Once I think I've spoken to.
Okay. Actually, RSN's a good topic because you were this would actually connect to another interview I've done. There was a situation with Wizard making a video with Kaylee, and I believe it was you who brought up that you took it the wrong way, and that it made you think that they were trying to pedo bait him or something.
Yeah, I said I took it the wrong way. I seen it and I left the server, and that was it. And then I found out later on down the line that it was Holler who actually sent it to RSN.
Okay.
Whether that's true, I don't know.
Okay, but I wanted to clarify that that was not you,
No,
because
that
I think
wasn't me.
we had mentioned in another interview that may have been you, and I wanted to make sure that was clear that it was not.
Yeah, no, I just left the server. I went, no, I can't be part of this. I'll leave. Whether if there was a possibility, I was taking it the wrong way anyway. So I thought, I'm not even willing to pass it on to someone else because it could be the wrong. I could be looking at it wrong. It was
All
easier
right.
to leave, back away, lead into it.
All right. So, is there anyone else that you have had some issues with that you want to discuss?
Not really. There's not one. There's no one really I have issues with that I haven't been able to destroy.
Okay.
To be honest, like he got Squirrel who thinks he got fucking some hate boner for me because they accused me of something and got called out for it and then hid like they usually do.
What did he accuse you of?
Oh, they were accusing me of doing all kinds of shit. What was it? They were like, you sent the stuff to RSN, you done this and you done that. And I was like, can you prove I've done any of this? But then they would never reply. It was quick little, sly little jabs. Then they ran away. It's like, well, fuck you then, bye. I've had the issues with Shaggy. I'm done with Shaggy because of what he done to Bells and everything else, because there was no need for it. It's not just Bells, there's Hyper and the shit he's done towards Toxic. I'm done with you, so I'll drop people like a fucking hat. I don't give a shit. You want to be a cunt to me, then bye. I don't want to be a part of your little community and that you cause shit. People I speak to personally. I'm very laid back compared to most people. I can't be asked arguing with everyone. I go out, I take the piss. Well, I had arguments with Wayne. If I don't know if you know Wayne, we had a little troll session for like 9 months. I've now like talk to him personally all the time. He's a good laugh, Wayne. I just went a bit too far. I'm not even gonna lie, I did go a bit too far towards him. I started feeling sly.
All right, all right. So, like, since like it seems like you're pretty much out of the drama now. A lot of this is in your past.
I'm still in there. I still watch it. I still find it all fucking hilarious.
Okay. So, we have something from Irish. There we go. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't hate it either.
Okay.
I was just done with that certain subject at the time.
Okay. So let's talk about like your channel. Like your channel for the most part has been you kind of clowning on your enemies. What's the future?
I don't know. I've got to be asked to fucking stream, and half the time I can't be asked. I start streaming and then I get bored after like half an hour, so I start sitting there fucking about and doing other stuff. Or if people come on and they take over, I just get off. Like once I had Toxic and Shaggy come on, and I fucked off to the shop. Come back half an hour later and they were still going. So my channel's just there for the piss take. If it gets taken away, it gets taken away.
Okay. So you're just going to be using it for trolling and for meme purposes essentially, for clipping.
Yeah, I might do some gaming on it. I don't know. It depends what mood I'm in.
That's good. That's good. So I'll open it up to the chat. If there's anything you would like to ask, now would be a good time. So I think this fills in a lot of the details that people were missing from my original interview with Bells of Nevermore, because she did a much longer overview, but a lot of it was very censored.
Yeah, I won't censor nothing. I respect Bells for censoring it because she doesn't want the shit kicking up again, but it wouldn't have been kicked up as long as it's truthful. I don't care. I always accept the truth.
Yes,
I always,
and oh, go ahead.
no, go on.
Okay, and the offer is open to Suit Yourself himself if he'd like to come on. I mean, there's definitely a lot of details that he would be privy to. He and Bells would be privy to. That it'd be good to hear from him directly.
Yeah, we always wanted to hear his side, but he never give it.
All right, hello Ray Ray. Shout out to Ray Ray. Did Santa finally bring you a new robe, Wrighty?
Oh, I think that was you, mate. I don't wear robes. my last time I wore a robe was like 3 years ago. My dog's at it.
Actually, that reminds me of a question. Actually, people, Bells, I think, mentioned that your nudes were going around. Like, do you know who's responsible for that, and are you taking any action?
I know who's responsible. I don't care.
Okay.
I didn't care back then.
Okay.
I've got fucking pornos leaked on me and everything, so a few dick pics, it just doesn't mean nothing to me.
Okay.
Not when I've got a pornos out there with my full face and everything, so.
Now, one person I hadn't actually thought to mention till just now, like Nyx. Like, I saw Hillbilly Hellride's stream a long time ago about it.
Yeah. But okay now.
Okay.
It becomes too much mentally and from nearly everyone, so I walked away from it.
Okay. Now, like the situation with Nyx was a bit of an odd one, but like, do you want to go into detail about it?
Well, there's not much to say. She went round, she had a laugh, she got a few nudes, she moved on. I don't know much of it. I know bits, but I don't want to like. That's something I definitely don't want to drag back up.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe because that's a dirty topic. Now, you have this issue of being cloned. Is that still an issue that you have?
I don't know. It could be, but after people that clone me now, I don't bother in there. I don't go in their communities anymore or watch the shit that they watch. It's rare I watch shit on YouTube now. Every now and then I get messages to come on.
All right. So once again, we have a open to the chat if there's anything they'd like to ask. I think that this was a good overview of like your experiences. Like, have you learned a lesson from all of this? If there is one to be learned.
No, I don't think. Well, the only lesson is to be wary of fucking people on the internet. That's it. Don't trust as easy as I used to.
No, bum number one. I do not have any beef with Suit. But since all of his stuff has been taken down and pretty much everything up there that is up from other people is trashing him, I think I'm sort of obligated a bit to give like a fair and balanced take on it just for the public record.
Well, Squirrel, that screenshot that's in question, I actually sent to Suit while Suit was doing a stream about it. I never posted in the server. I sent it to Suit's DMs. So whoever posted in Suit's server was not me.
Okay.
I never brought it up. I kept it fucking behind closed doors. It had nothing to do with me until Suit actually decided to do it. And at the time, I actually had faith and trust in him. So I give him the thingy to try and resolve with me, and Wizard had that argument on streaming, and that was it.
Bum number one, Suit Yourself, from what I can gather, has left the internet following accusations of him putting Lolly in his Discord. We discussed that in this interview, his context for it. But from what I can tell, he has not addressed it like in a proper stream, made an apology. So you were big into this not going IRL though, and I have some of those streams where people were talking about sending it to the police, trying to get Suit Yourself arrested. That you were never a part of that.
No, because there was no point. It was just an image that he fucked up on. I've always said that he posted an image like a moron, like a sick little puppy, love puppy, fucking, and he done it. All he had to do was come out and say, "Oh, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done it. I regret doing it." Instead, he buckled down on some stupid story that made him look worse. And these are like the outs that we were giving him on toxic streams. Me and Aegis were constantly saying, "Here's an out for you, mate. You can use this." We didn't want him off the internet completely. We just wanted him to fucking own what he did, because he tells everyone else to own their shit.
Okay. Well, I think that just about covers it. I would like to thank you for coming on. This has been very enlightening because I'm still learning some of this myself.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Anything I forgot, I'm just asking. I'll let you know.
All right.
People
Absolutely.
You've got the logo and the Suit Yourself thread and all that shit as well, and Kiwi Farms.
Yes, and that's where a lot of my research actually came from. The image in question is on Kiwi Farms. If you're interested, it's been censored, but you can make it out.
And what's your opinion on the image?
My personal opinion is that it should never have been posted. I'm sitting here thinking about it. The kind of what would you be Googling to find said image? And I should never have been posted, and I would have a lot more, I'd be a lot more comfortable with it if he had just come out and said, "Hey, I shouldn't have done this. I take things too far." And if he has not made any kind of apology for it, that does bother me.
See, that's exactly what we wanted. That's all he had to do, and then that would have been the end of it.
And I want to say as well that that isn't entirely out of the realm of possibility at this point. He can still do it at any time.
Yeah, he can do it now if he stays off for a couple more weeks. Nearly everyone's forgot about him and don't care anymore. So yeah. At the moment, I believe he's still most probably dealing with his mother. So
yes,
he's got bad news. He's got to deal with that. It's more important than fucking YouTube bullshit.
Bum number one, yes, the accusations are true. Suit Yourself himself does not even deny them. Yes, and it is legit. I'm not going to put it up on this stream, but it can be found very easily.
Yeah, just not as easy as to Google it.
So yes, I would like to thank you for coming on. This may be a longer running series, because this is still a very a thick topic, and there's so many characters involved, and everyone has their own part to play.
Yeah, there's lots of people out there that were involved.
Yes.
The only person I wouldn't have on your show is Shaggy, because he'll just like derail it with moving bullshit. And other shit, but he's a fucking moron anyway. You best keep staying away from him.
Oh, it's good to see you too, Irish.
But if you want to speak to Shaggy, I can also introduce you so you can speak to him if you want. I'm not going to stop you.
That may be something we can look forward to in the future.
Yep.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's it. Thanks for having me on anyway. Clear
Yep.
some shit up.
Yep. I'm going to probably go ahead and end this here in just a minute. I want to also say that thank you to Bells of Nevermore as well for helping me get the general idea of what was going on here. If it wasn't for that interview, I'd be kind of lost for this one.
Yeah.
So, well, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as is tradition, and I will see you next time.